So I'll just start by saying who I am and what I'm doing. So my name is Leah from the PR department of AudaCity Capital, and at the moment we're just conducting interviews with some of our traders just to figure out what their journey is into trading and find a little more out about them. So my first question for you is just to introduce yourself and introduce how you got into trading, what sparked your interest and how you got to the place you are today.
I don't think we've got a long enough in this interview for that, but so my name's Sonny. I sort of got into trade. I sort of fell into it. I sort of, like a lot of people, was looking for a career change and wasn't too sure what to do. Certain things, events in my life led me down different paths and things. And I just sort of, obviously, I come across, just was looking at things throughout London and the southeast and online jobs and stuff, with nothing really in mind as such. I was like planning on moving out of construction, but yeah, I've just come across like years and years. I think it was back in 2014. AudaCity Capital's sort of online advert about traders and the markets and things like that, and training new traders and just about the firm, and it sort of stuck out to me. Because they weren't looking for people with like X amount of formal qualifications, a degree in this, a degree in that, and stuff like that. So it was just sort of just a randomly come across the advert, and then I knew what the markets were. I knew a little about this and that, and everyone's heard of stocks and shares and things like that, but not really sort of currency markets. I didn't really know much about it, and too in depth with with the markets at all, really. But so it sort of started from there, and then I just sort of think once you sort of get interested and start looking into the markets, and you have a taste of trading and things like that, it's sort of hard to sort of like if you obviously if you like it but not be interested in it, and not sort of always sort of learn and move forward with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that I've talked to, they've done the same thing as you. They just wanted a career change and then actually found it really beneficial for them to come down this route, which is great, which is what I love to hear. So my next question for you is, how did you learn to trade successfully? Was it through yourself, or did you have any like previous education, a mentor or anything like that?
Oh, well, originally, like I say, it was with AudaCity Capital. I didn't know, I didn't know how to sort of place the trade. I'd never really looked into it, obviously, and using platforms and things like that. And but yeah, it was like I sort of had obviously like a sort of quite an in-depth. Obviously, I think analysis as well. That was sort of a crash course, sort of eye opener, sort of in-depth sort of training course and everything, but I think it was a good start. It was a good foundation for me to build off. I mean, it's one of those things you can never, it's not, you haven't got a time, so you can't put a time limit on it. It's not like you're gonna, you got, right, if you do 2 years of this course or university, college, then you're going to get this job and you're going to earn that much. And it's not, it's a very sort of discretionary type of prop trading anyway. It's, you can't really put a time limit for how quick you're going to be successful and how successful, it's there's a lot of variables to it. So I think for me, it was obviously starting back then, and over the past sort of 6 years, it's been for me, it's been a bit of a slow burner process. I wasn't naturally great from the off, and I had sort of, I've come from like nearly wiping out accounts to losing big chunks to smaller and smaller to sort of hovering around break even, and then sort of starting to build from then. And but I think obviously my foundation with AudaCity, and then I think the real journey for me started when you sort of you sort of step away, and then you're not on your own as such, but it's the real journey begins with when you start obviously do it, you know, trading live accounts, and you know, and if you're sort of trading more substantial sums, you know. But yeah, I suppose, yeah, for me it's just been a slow. I think you got to look at it long term. I think you sort of so naive. I look back then, and you know, I was naive back then to think, I suppose, because I wasn't in the know, how, you know, I never thought it'd be easy, but you never realise how far away you are actually from becoming sort of consistent with in the markets, you know. And there's so many, you know, I've made all the cliche mistakes that you hear about everyone talking about online, and placing too large trades that, you know, that my account, you know, could handle basically, and risk too much, and over trading and switching, and you know, but for me, I've sort of had to go through that, you know. I had to go through that sort of that bit of pain, and you know, sitting there in front, you know, with you thinking, how does anyone make no money from this game, and you know, to be consistently profitable. But it's just the process you have to go through, isn't it? I think it's like a lot of, you know, professions. You know, if you suppose you want to be a GP or something, you know, you're probably like 7 years, whatever it is, at university and stuff. And
Yeah, definitely.
It's not an overnight thing at all. So I think that, yeah, it's, for me, it's been like, I mean, I think, you know, what you have to realise, or people have to realise, it's not just it's everyday life and all. It's if you've not got a massive, you know, pot of money, or you're not got, you know, a bottomless pit of money behind you where you can sort of concentrate on it 5 to 7 days a week, and you know, you know, you can make excuses of why it takes you so long to learn that, but you've also got to be realistic about it as well. You know, everyday life, if you've got a sort of a job that requires you to, you know, travel and be somewhere a certain place, long days, early starts, late nights, and it's obviously you have to earn a living whilst, you know, you're not going to just sort of start trading and, you know, next minute you're going to be a, you know, millionaire, and like you know, a lot of these I suppose Instagram influencers would like you to think. But and I think that was a good thing about, you know, I mentioned that with AudaCity as well. I think Karim especially is very level-headed, and sort of likes to sort of get people and get them to acknowledge that it's not an overnight process. And over the years, I've come into the trade floor, and I've come and met Karim and things, and you know, sort of head, you know, I'm not getting anywhere. I need help, and things like that. But I think, yeah, it's the everyday life you have to take into account. It's like, you know, you come home, you're tired. Sometimes, you know, you got to really have drive and commitment and persistence. And it's, I think for me, you can be, you know, the most intelligent person in the world, but without, you know, that I think resilience as well, being resilient, persistent, and you got to have a bit of a thick skin, because you do have so many knockbacks, and you just time and again. Like I've had it where I had it when I come back to that, when I was, you know, I'd run my account, I was, you know, trading well, like, you know, with it, good risk management, and I was, you know, I think I was up 47% on my personal account, and then I switched to AudaCity, and I just was literally just, maybe it was the fundamentals of trading someone else's money and stuff like that, but I just started losing, and trade after trade, and it just you know, I just was like, you sort of, but it's that time where you got to sort of hold it together, and know that, you know, you've got to keep that perseverance and be resilient to it. But yeah, it's a funny old game.
Yeah, it's all a process. Like everyone I talk to, really, they all have blown an account or lost a significant amount. I think that is just like a part of the process to learn what you're doing, basically.
Yeah, it's you know, and it's one of the things where you know, you have great runs, and you know, some people obviously perform better than others. You know, it's down to it's very, like, you know, I think that's one of the most appealing things about it. It's a very individual, and you can't. It's not like you can, you know, if you work for a firm, and you know, there's a few people that carry the rest, and you can hide behind the numbers and the stats, or whatever, you know. but in this you can't. You know, you're either you sink or swim. It's there. You know, you count says X amount. You started with that amount. How much you got now? You know, so
Yeah,
it's one of them,
definitely.
which is good if you're a competitive and it's a very sort of yeah, it's good. It's a good way to keep track of your performance, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Okay, so my next question is, I know you've touched on this a bit already, but just how has your general experience with AudaCity Capital been? Do you have any feedback, or like how's your performance been in terms of your account, anything like that, or anything you want to add from what you've previously said?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, for me, like I said, if I was honest, I actually obviously nothing to do with Audacity. I was sort of went off. You know, I had my initial training with Audacity, and I'd done well initially there, but obviously I couldn't. Obviously, at first, you're not trading large enough accounts to sustain your living, your normal standard living. So, obviously, you know, reality comes in, and you have to go back to your day job and everything. And for me, I progressed well in my other career and business ventures, whatever that may be. But yeah, I think for me it was like the real. I'd say I'll come away, and then the real start. You know, learning started over the years. You know, I couldn't always dedicate 100% of my time to it, but with Audacity, you know, I always like it is. You know, it is a bit like that. You know, you do have that sort of that family kind of element to it. Like I know I could. Over the years, I've emailed Karim. Like I say, I've come back up. You know, I live in Kent, so I've come up into the city and you know, I've seen him said, I'm struggling with this, and you know, I remember I think one time I come up and he said you should add Fibonacci to this, and you know, and little things, and you know, and the little events that Audacity had done. But yeah, I mean, for me, like the initial training, like just the fundamental side as well, not just technical analysis, and it was you know, I think, and I have actually, you know, tried. I won't name them, but I have actually just out of interest gone, you know, somewhere else and just to see what they was like and that. And different, you know, I've seen, you know, all sorts of, you know, it's a massive businesses in training, you know that. But I've seen other courses and seen other things and material that other people are offering and things like that. And it wasn't up to that same standard. And yeah, I think, you know, I can pick up the phone anytime or get in contact with you guys and say that, you know, I need help, I've got a problem, or, you know, and for whatever reason, really, I suppose, performance or, you know, just if you're struggling with it. But yeah, I mean, like I say, with you, there's no one on your case as such. I mean, you stick to the parameters and that. Obviously, I think with me, I was trading my own money before I use my my performance, and yeah, I actually sort of my performance just took like that. But I think, you know, it was, I suppose, managing someone else's money might have sort of got into the back of my head. Like, I think I put more pressure on myself to perform, and then yeah, obviously I couldn't jump in and out of positions like I'd like to. And reality was, you know, I was off because of coronavirus as well over that period, beginning more toward the beginning of the year. And I had more time, you know, when I was trading my own money. I was literally in front of a computer all day, and you know, my day job, you know, I manage like construction sites and you know, building flats, houses, or whatever it is, or refurbing buildings. And you know, I can't access the computer, so you know, I can, but not in a way that, you know, I could be sitting here watching the market. But yeah, I think for me, it was like, so when I joined, it was like the parameters changed again, but I don't feel no pressure to. There's no like, you know, I'm not got anyone going on the phone. Oh, why haven't you put a trade? Like, you know, I might not even trade averaging lately. I've probably not even done one a week lately. Because I look at the market after, you know, after European hours generally, like in the evenings. I'll do any analysis there, and you know, I try and, you know, weekend set up my charts. You know, I've got a very simple method strategy. I don't really, it's nothing groundbreaking about it, so it doesn't take me, you know, I've scaled down the pairs I trade through time because I know I can't, you know, I haven't got the time to analyze as much as I'd like to. So, but yeah, like I said, there's no pressure. There's no one like emailing me, why haven't you placed a trade? You're not going to make, money, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, and even when, you go through times of like, losing periods, there's no one sort of, I'm obviously within reason, they can see, everyone can see that I'm sticking to the parameters, but, yeah, I think I just don't feel much, added pressure there, as in, I know, like, they're a good company to be involved with. So, and I've known Corinne personally now for, I suppose, quite a few years, yeah, for about